How to fix the motorcycle carburetors on the Kawasaki Vulcan 500 when it's been sitting for a long time. Other bikes too. I've had a bunch of bikes, and you know what? Sometimes when I put them in storage for a long time, then go to ride them. You know what? The older bikes were worse. They had, you know what? The gas tanks used to condensate and stuff, and then it would run. They would run like crap until I got all the old gas out and put in new gas. But this one's different. These don't. This bike doesn't do that. This one doesn't condensate. The ones I had, like from 1979 or older, they used to condensate. This one's different though. This bike's been in storage since at least 2012. The last registration sticker was 2012, and I bought this, you know, as a project to have fun with, fix it up. And I've done a whole bunch of work to it. I put a new battery in there, cleaned out the air filter. I put new spark plugs, changed the oil and filter. New turn signals on the back. New luggage rack with padded backrest. Never had that before. I see new turn signals in the back. And the carburetors. This thing sat for so long that the carburetors were frozen. The throttle bodies in there, the throttle plates, they wouldn't move at all. So, you know, people tell me you're gonna have to get a carburetor kits and rebuild them and stuff. And I was looking at the carburetor kits, and they, you know what they told me? Oh, they're so cheap and everything. Well, I bought the bike, yeah, but then I got it home, and you know what? When I was buying it, they were all you need is a couple of carburetor kits, and that's it, and they're real cheap. And you know they're full of shit because there was no battery in the bike, and there was a bunch of other stuff. The oil was really overdue to be changed, and the spark plugs were fouled, all kind of little stuff. The tail lights were broken, the usual stuff. But anyway, I took the carburetors. I pulled the float bowl off, and in the inside it looked really clean, really perfect. So I put it back on, and I soaked the carburetors in a little bit of gas. I just took an old cooking pot that was empty and put a little gas in it and set the carburetors in there. And within like 20 minutes, they were freed up and moving again. The throttle plates were moving and everything. Throttle linkage was no longer stuck. So I took a can of carburetor spray, sprayed them off, you know, real good, and I put them back in there. And there was still a little bit of gumminess or funkiness in there that was causing problems. But I found a product at Walmart called seafoam, and I tried that. I've seen it in other videos, and the other videos suggested to put about 1 ounce of seafoam per gallon of gas, and I had 2 gallons of gas in here, so I just roughly eyeballed 2 ounces of seafoam and put it in there. And within about let's see, I started it up within about 30 minutes. 30 minutes, it had those carburetors cleaned on the inside and running really good, running so smooth with new oil, new spark plugs, clean air filter, and the carburetors cleaned out from the seafoam. That stuff works miracles. You can use it in the oil too, but anyway, it cleaned out the carburetors really good and really fast. And so I did a lot of work to this bike, and all I really have left to do is I got to replace a 1 turn signal in the front here, and then I've got to adjust the idle. The idle adjustment isn't right, but you got to figure these carburetors have been pulled out and turned upside down 6 ways from Sunday, and stuffed back in there, and pulled out again and cleaned up and stuffed back in there. I need to adjust the throttle cables. There's a throttle cable and a return cable. They're pretty close. I got them pretty close, but you know what? I think there's just a tiny adjustment. If you look at this, that's in the handle. It's close. It's good enough. That's just in the handle. I may check the adjustment on those cables. I think it's pretty good. But anyway, the idle screw, I've just got to adjust the idle. And so adjust the idle and replace that turn signal. That's the last little bit of stuff I got to do. Now, keep in mind, this thing's been parked since 2012. Let's check it out, how I've got it. That seafoam works miracles. It cleaned out the carburetors really good. Anyway, I've just got to replace the turn signal now and adjust the idle screw a little bit. And she's good to go. Thank you for watching. Subscribe for updates.